intellectually, but with the wisdom of a grasshopper. "All right, Rob. Are you going to go get your new armor now?" Marc asked. Rob nodded, then headed towards the keep in the shop. "See you later," he called back as he walked off. Marc wheeled the armor into his inventory. It would need a good cleaning, at the very least, before he tried to give it to Felicia. If she wants it, either it will resize or I'll take it to Rudy and see if he can resize it for her. If neither of those works, I can maybe get Rudy to make her a new suit from scratch, he thought. Marc wanted to head to the town hall next and check on the metal count, but he knew that it wasn't going to have gone up enough since he last checked. The recyclers were out working the junkyard now, and even if the first load of metal had been brought back, it wouldn't have pushed them over the 5,000 needed. He was expecting that tomorrow at the earliest. Instead, he decided to head down to the smithy. Rudy was already at work, as were his two apprentices, so Marc just made sure Rudy saw him, then stepped over to one side to wait until the smith had time to take a break. When he did, Rudy came over. "You come to have a few more drinks, lad? I've already finished my Everclear, but we could get another bottle if you like." Marc shook his head vehemently. "Oh no, I'm smarter than that," he said. "I wanted to ask you about something else. The Lorica segmentata you make. How should one go about cleaning that? The system cleans a lot of things overnight, but evidently not everything. The leather portions are a bit ripe." "Oh, is that all? Well, it should go in 2 stages. Rudy proceeded to explain the process to Marc, who found himself glad he had access to his leather crafting tools since it was going to need some of them. "Also, Rob told me this was resizing for him. If it doesn't, can you resize it down to fit Felicia?" he asked. "Your healer lass. Aye, I could do that. You said it was changing size on its own, though." "Yes, we systemized it, and I'm guessing that's why." "Ah, well, if it doesn't resize to her, I suggest you just give me that suit and I'll make a new one for her. Taking that much back off will make it take nearly as long as making a new suit, and I've got a couple of guys that are just about as big as your friend who's wearing it." Marc grimaced. He realized that if they got a new suit for her, it would no longer automatically repair itself when in the safe zone, and they'd need to get it repaired over and over. "We'll see how it goes," Marc said. "Thanks for the cleaning tips, though. I can imagine she'd want to wear armor that smelled like Rob does after he's been fighting." Rudy chuckled and waved Marc away. The smith turned back to his forge with a snarl, one that Marc thought was fake, directed at his apprentices. Resisting the urge to check on the metal again, Marc instead went to the tannery and settled in to start cleaning the armor for Felicia, something which he thought just might actually help increase his actual leatherworking skill, at least while he cleaned the leather portions of the armor. When Marc couldn't take it anymore, he packed away his tools and headed to the town hall. His mother informed him that there had been 2 loads of metal brought in so far today, and that she expected a third, half-filled, load just before dinner. The last load put both recyclers in one wagon and loaded the other with metal, so they'd only get a half load out of it. He checked the metal totals and decided that if the wagons had brought back 4/5 of the metal they'd be recovering today, then they'd end the day with just a touch over 4,000 metal. Which means we could upgrade to the industrial tech level tomorrow, he thought, assuming the recyclers haven't cleared the junkyard already. At least it's in the captured area, so there's no worry about all that metal just falling apart into dust anymore. With a wave to his mom, who was engrossed in the terminal in her office, Marc headed out. He went over to the alchemy lab next. You could tell that Jeff had been experimenting by the acrid smell hanging in the air as he got close. At least I hope that was Jeff experimenting, and not something going wrong for Felicia, he thought. And they were worried that the tannery was going to stink. The door to the alchemy lab was open, and when he entered, Felicia was still giving Jeff the stink eye. "Mess something up, did you, Jeff?" Marc asked as he entered. Jeff just looked at Marc and frowned. "I don't get it. It should have worked," Jeff said. "Were you working from some sort of plan or recipe?" Marc asked. Jeff shook his head. "Nah, I was just trying a variant of the bomb I used to close the arrow hole. The substitution should have worked fine and given me a bomb that kept spitting out smoke for a few minutes." "I'm sure you took account of the changed chemical reactions?" "Of course I did. I did that back with the original recipe." "Did you do it with whatever chemical you substituted in?" Marc asked. Jeff nodded his head. "Yeah, I did. I think I did, at least. Let me see. I wrote it all down as I was doing it." Then he started rummaging through a small pile of paper on the table beside him. Marc turned to Felicia. "I was actually coming to..."